important to do that and support my family and protect them as well as myself and my teammates. And I think, for me, I'm in a team environment every day, so I want to protect my teammates and, their personal family situations.
England play Andorra away in World Cup qualifying. It's live on 5 Live on Saturday. Last night, Spain beat Italy's men 2-1 to reach the Nations League final. It ended Italy's 37-game unbeaten run. Chelsea's women needed a late equaliser to draw 3-3 with Wolfsburg in their Women's Champions League group stage opener. The Scottish Premiership is set to shut down for around a month next year, November and December, to accommodate the World Cup, which will be held in Qatar. And Emma Raducanu has learned her first opponent as US Open champion. She'll play Alexandra Sasnovich, the world number 101, in the last 64 in Indian Wells.
BBC Radio 5 Live.
The voice of the UK. 5 Live Breakfast. Listen live, pause, rewind and discover the BBC Sounds app.
Interesting listening to Jermaine. Jean was talking about, the things that are often a bit more controversial with football. But what about this? Should football players get the COVID vaccine? It's been part of the chat on 5 Live Breakfast over the past few days. And there are numbers revealed last week that suggest that fewer than half of the players at most Premier League and also English Football League clubs have been vaccinated. Let's listen to 5 Live Sports and Pat Nevin, who can't believe it.
Absolutely infuriates me. The percentage you mentioned early on there about professional footballers not being vaccinated. A, shocked. B, massively disappointed. The football players, particularly in the Premier League, have had so many benefits over this period of time. And, everyone's bent over backwards to make football, get it back on. And of course, football's done a lot of good things for people during the pandemic. Needed something to do, watch the game, and they put themselves out. But to not then be vaccinated and help secure other people's safety as well as their own, I have to say I'm gobsmacked. I'm really upset about it. I'm not, if they want to say that, they can say that. But the fact that the percentages are right, that level of players have not been vaccinated, I find that unthinkable. And by the way, if you're out there looking for the Twitter, go and abuse me as much as you like. I could not care less. I'm so upset with the fact that you've worked so hard, the scientists and the medics have worked so hard, people have put themselves in danger so much over such a period of time, and for large groups of certain parts of society, and if it's professional footballers not doing it, not joining with what is for the public good, I find very, very upsetting.
Pat Nevin, not mincing words there. Well, for more on that, you can listen to the latest episode of the Football Daily podcast. It's available now on BBC Sounds. Now, let us continue. What are you going to talk about on your call today, Nikki?
Do you want to know?
I do.
Tennis shoes and rings.
Somebody has just messaged, I saw, saying, Nikki, how can you play tennis with a ring? It's very uncomfortable.
Is it?
That's not what you're going to talk about, maybe.
No. It's because I'm ambidextrous and rings on my left hand, and I would take the tennis with the right hand. That's probably it. Yeah. Listen, your call. Enough of that. Ring us. We've been talking about wages this morning and whether we should pay people more so we don't have to rely on cheap labour from abroad. You know the arguments are raging at the moment. Now, it's something the Prime Minister spoke about at the party conference yesterday with his set-piece speech. We've had bosses telling us. I wonder what you think. Well, I want to get out there and in amongst it to find out if this is what you think, if this is your experience. He said that there are some jobs British people just won't do. We've had bosses telling us that. Here's one. This is Ross, who owns a cafe in London.
There's got to be a willingness to want to work. I think.
Interesting. Do we not have that? Do we have?
Well, I'm not sure we do. For I think wages do have to go up to encourage those at the lower end of the wage scale to be incentivised to work, and that's what we're trying to do.
Let's talk to Chris, who got in touch with us this morning about low wages. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Nicky. How are you?
Yeah, fine. We hear a lot of this. What do you think?
I think I agree with the position that sort of low wages in sectors historically has sort of caused this position, and I think there's been a reliance on the EU workforce, especially in 2004, but when there was a lot more to be successful. I think that was okay when we sort of had the EU workforce to fall back on. But now we're sort of stuck in a position where you've got sort of 18 to 35-year-olds thinking that unskilled, I'm doing that in sort of inverted commas in the air, unskilled jobs are not worthy. And then you've also got the problem that sort of people over that age are less likely to retrain. So I think we're sort of stuck in the middle at the moment. I think unskilled jobs are an idea that's sort of peddled by Conservatives to keep wages low. But look where we are now.
Interesting. There's a certain mindset that has become embedded.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think the drive's always towards sort of traditionally professional jobs, sort of become a lawyer, but there's never any push in schools today to say that sort of unskilled jobs are okay to strive for.
Do you want to be an estate agent, or do you want to be a fruit picker?
Well, that's it, yeah, that's it.
I'd want to be an estate agent, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I think so. But then we're stuck in this position now where you've got a gap and a skills shortage. So now that we don't have EU workers to fall back on, who's going to fill the positions?
Do you think there are people who are not in work at the moment who look at these jobs and think, I don't want to do that. I do not want to go and work in an abattoir.
I think probably, yeah, but I wouldn't blame the people themselves for that. I'd blame sort of the traditional culture in the UK of that sort of position. I think, well, ever since I grew up in school, EU workers were sort of vilified. It was drummed into us by Conservatives, the whole stealing our jobs position. And so now that's sort of looked down upon. And no, I don't blame the people themselves. I blame sort of a cultural value set that's been drummed into us ever since we were young.
The cultural value set, that's so interesting. And people thinking that certain jobs are beneath them.
Well, yeah, I think that's all sort of included, really. I think, I just think, we've got to a position now where we can't rely on the EU workforce, and if employers can't get that, and they can't get the UK sort of population into those sort of positions, and like I say, I think people sort of my age have gone through that whole schooling system and been driven towards traditionally professional jobs, and I think people sort of over my age, so say 40 plus, are much less likely to retrain anyway, so you're sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place, really.
It's a great text. Thanks for sending it. And thanks for coming on, Chris. So much in there, distilling so many thoughts. What do you think? Have we changed as a nation because of the reliance on cheap labour, if that's what it was? Do we think some jobs are beneath us? Is there a kind of void? Are we stuck in a mindset? Could it be pay and conditions? Thinking about HGV drivers. What was the Prime Minister's phrase yesterday? Go for a pee in the bushes because of the facilities, lack of facilities. People working in abattoirs at the moment. I certainly wouldn't want to do that because of philosophical and nutritional beliefs, but do you? There are loads of vacancies in the meat processing industry, HGV drivers as well. Is there a job you wouldn't do no matter what it paid, no matter what your circumstances were? We want to hear from you. If you're a boss, you have to pay people more to do jobs that they don't want to do, that you want them to do. There's loads in this one, I think. 85058, text us. Call us on 08085 909 693.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Call free 08085 909 693. Text 85058. Text will be charged at your standard message rate. Plus, see our privacy notice. bbc.co.uk/5live. This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Listen live on digital, online, smart speaker, or the BBC Sounds app.
Let us turn to Orla for the travel.
Morning, let's have a look. So Glasgow queue still there on the M8. Long delays this morning. Westbound from 11 at Queensley to 18 at Charing Cross. It's just into the roadway. It's been taking you half an hour. Still very heavy on the M60. They held all the traffic at junction 13 at Worsley. All lanes have been open for a while, but the queues are stretching back to around 7 at Stretford and is backed up onto the westbound and the eastbound M62 from junction 12 at the Eccles interchange. Delays also affecting you on the M60 anti-clockwise, 18 at Smithster Island through to 13 at Worsley. That's taking you about half an hour this morning. And the M62 eastbound, Rainhill Stoops at junction 7 through to 8 at Warrington West. Those lanes are open, but the queues haven't recovered. Still back to Tarbuck Island after the accident earlier. Still very busy on the Knowsley Expressway as a knock-on effect as well. The M25 has been really slow on the clockwise side over the QE2 bridge. That's after a breakdown. It cleared. There was a lane closure for a while though. And the A102 northbound from Greenwich to Poplar in that direction, and just before the Blackpool Tunnel, the A2 at the Sun in the Sand roundabout. That's where the accident was earlier on. The police were dealing with an incident there for quite a while. It's over, but the queues are still there. Newcastle, the A1 Western Bypass southbound queues, 77 to 75. That's near the Denton Burn roundabout. It's after an accident which closed one of the lanes. And the M40 southbound towards London, junction 2 at Beaconsfield to 1A at the M25. There's a lane closed there and another police incident going on. Orna Merchant, 5 Live Travel.
Thanks so much, Orna. We're going to be hearing coming up on Breakfast 5 Live, Steve.